Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Chris Bottomley podcast number 3. Today, as in every day that we do this podcast, we're just basically talking about some songs off my new record called High Vibrations Volume 1 and 2. Today, we're going to talk about a song called Trip to the Darkside. This song is basically about someone who kind of goes down into the internet hole that we all do. I was sitting there and I had a line for the longest time. It was called, "He blew his mind searching on the internet. He took a trip to the dark side and never came back." And it kind of came from that, this song. I had these lyrics for quite a while. I had a bass part. Let me just play you the demo for this, and it can kind of give you an idea of the raw tracks of how I originally came up with the idea for this song. So here we are here, and we're just going to play this demo that I recorded on my iPhone.
He ruined his mind surfing on the internet.
So it kind of started out something like that. This song called Trip to the Dark Side off my new record. And you can hear the raw guts of it. It kind of started like that. I knew it wanted to have a funky feel. I wanted a really up close kind of vocal, like how I was singing it. He blew his mind, a bit of grit, searching on the internet. And then eventually I ended up changing the bass line, and it was more like, he blew his mind searching on the internet. He took a trip to the dark side. I never came back.
So that's what you started with. Is that the
Yeah, that's kind of the bass riff I started with.
Now, did you have any inspiration for drum-wise, pattern-wise, loop-wise for this?
Yeah, I did actually. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to go over to the computer here and show you some of this Logic file stuff. Yeah, so I was over here, and I had this loop that I kind of liked. Let's just play it for you here. Let me dig it up here for 1 second. And I really liked it because it was like, wow, this thing's got some vim vam voom to it, right? Here it comes now. Here we go. Right? Something like that. I was playing the bass to that. And then somewhere along the way, I was like, oh man, yeah, that's good loop and everything. But I rented a drum kit from Long and McQuaid, set it up, and I ended up playing drums on this track. Some good Neve preamps, and you can hear a bit of it here, just the raw tracks over here. So there's the loop again. So this is me playing the basic drum track in Russ's living room. This is unmixed. This is just the raw tracks.
Came back.
And as you can see here, I ended up changing the bass line and ended up being something like this. So I changed it because it wasn't really moving right. I had the squeaky drum loop. I don't know, I couldn't get the thing grooving the way I wanted it to groove, right? So I changed the bass line, and I wanted it to sort of sound like an upright bass, even though I played it here on my electric P bass. I was fingering it really short and sharp, and as if I was playing an upright, because I wanted it to kind of have this different kind of feel with a bit of a lilt to it, and still kind of retain that sort of funky feel and have a bit of swing and stuff. So I did end up changing it and here's what we hear on the new part.
Now, what did you do? Was that a direct line in, or did you run through an amp?
Yeah, I ran this through my Eden bass amp, which is just over there. I got a Highwayman from, I had that all through the 90s and was playing with it live for a long, long time. It's a great amp. It sounds nice and warm, as you can hear. So I didn't do anything to it. I just put it through the amp and recorded it into Logic. And that's what I ended up with.
His life used to be whole.
You can hear it with the drum tracks. So the bass really moves it along, whereas before it was kind of staggered and a bit more behind the beat. This one gives it a bit more, oomph, a bit of a lilt.
And where did you record your vocals?
Working in the...
I recorded the vocals actually here at the Treehouse Studio. I ended up recording the vocals here at Studio B at the Treehouse Studio. And I did them on a 58, a Shure 58. So I'm going to just show you the guitar bit that I put down from the song. And I was coming up with this bit along with the vocal. And it went something like this. So here it is, how I recorded it. Well, folks, thanks very much for joining us this week. It's nice to have you here. A song called Trip to the Darkside. Every week here on the podcast, we're featuring songs from my new record called High Vibrations Volume 1 and 2. It's a double album, and also on Bandcamp, and also www.chrisbottomley.com at my website. You can go there and get in touch with me directly. Thank you very much for joining us this week, folks. And we're going to leave you with the mastered version of Trip to the Darkside. This is Trip to the Darkside.
He blew his mind, surfing on the internet. He took a trip to the dark side and never came back. His life used to be whole, with a sense of purpose, pillar of strength in the community. Now his life is all sound bites and misinformation, paid for by the hacks, working in the corporate world. When did the doubt begin? When did it come creeping in? How did it develop? From a whimper to a door. Can't come to grips with it. Can't come to of it. It's coming round again. Darkside.
Thank you for joining us this week, folks, on the Chris Bottomley podcast number 3. This week's song called Trip to the Darkside. Adios, amigos. We'll see you next time on the Chris Bottomley podcast.